What's going on YouTube? It's your boy J Rose. Welcome back to the page Ghostflykickz. Getting shoes at retail has become increasingly difficult. Even for someone as savvy or as long tenured shopper as myself, it is really difficult to get pairs of shoes sometimes, and this shoe was no exception. The last time we saw a high 85 was in the reverse bread colorway. I'm not counting the airship pack because that came together, but the high 85 reverse bread, that was limited to 23,000 pairs, and I was very fortunate and able to get that using the Flex app. That was actually last year this time, and that was really the infancy of the beginning stages of the FLX Foot Locker app's integration. And I was able to hit that pair, and I was like really excited, like, oh yeah, like I'm still good, I should be able to hit pairs. Since that time, I would say I've been able to hit on maybe 45% of releases since then, and that's not a very good margin. That's not like a high percentage for myself. I actually, especially in the past, I was more in the 75-80%. So the fact that I've dropped off 40% is very alarming. So this shoe was no different. I wasn't gonna hit on sneakers. It wasn't around on a lot of retailers in general, but I did pay resale for it, and I bought it off of eBay. And a lot of people are skeptical about eBay. I've mentioned eBay in other videos. I'm a big seller on eBay. Check out my eBay page at CEO Music. But eBay has introduced an authenticity guarantee for shoe buyers. So they're pretty much going that StockX, whereas you would buy on StockX, you put your bid in, you buy it, whatever. The seller will have 2 business days to ship it to one of their authentication centers. It will be authenticated, repackaged, and sent back to you. eBay has pretty much mimicked that same thing, except that now they have one authentication location, to my knowledge, in New York, and they have people there who are authenticating this shoe in New York, and then once it's verified, they repackage it and send it to you, the buyer. Now, my thoughts on this so far seems to work pretty fine. I will say that I am not a huge fan of that whole intermediate process. It can take longer to get your shoe. Like, for example, it took me about a week and a half to get this shoe, which isn't terrible, but that's a little longer than I would like, especially when you're used to getting 2 or 3 day shipping. Now, I do think eBay can improve this process by having a more premium carrier such as FedEx or UPS be the standard. Like StockX, they work through UPS. However, they do not have a designated courier for this process. You can ship through USPS, FedEx, UPS, whatever, and that's fine. I like the flexibility of it. However, it can be subjected to other delays that depending on which three of the carriers are facing. And we all know, coming out of this holiday season, the United States Postal Service was backed up, and we know that they can lose packages, and sometimes shoes get stuck in limbo and no man's land. So this is something to keep in mind, eBay. Now, I will say this, as far as upgrade to StockX. StockX has their tags, and they've become heavily counterfeited and reproduced through a lot of these counterfeit factories and UAs and things of that nature. So that StockX tag doesn't necessarily mean that much. I know there's a difference between the authentic one that you can't detach and reattach, but at the same time, it just seems that it's not a real thorough, sure-proof way to guarantee authenticity. And you're even seeing people wear it as opposed to kind of sex like it's drip, and it's not drip. First of all, if you're wearing that StockX tag, it's not drip. Cut that off. But then 2, the fact is that they're trying to reinforce that their shoe is legitimate, and I don't think it does that. So what eBay has done, they have put a tag on it as well, but instead of having like a QR code on it, it has an NFC communication module. So if you place a phone with an NFC chip inside of it, what it's going to do is it's going to redirect that phone to a page and shows that when it was authenticated, like what day it was authenticated with some details about the shoe. And I love that. I really do love that. I actually thought that Nike would have, when they introduced QR codes to their sizing tags and their boxes, would do something similar as opposed to redirecting you to the Nike page. So kudos to eBay for that. It does make me feel a little bit more confident. I will keep, like, for example, even if I cut this off, I can keep this in the box. So if I do choose to sell this later down the line, that person can take a little bit of comfort saying like, hey, at least he has a tag stating that this was authenticated in February 2021 at some point in time. So that's pretty cool. So shout out to eBay for that.